You want to know what I really hate? I hate when I'm driving my speedboat around Dubai and I hit one of those water speed bumps.
Max, those aren't speed bumps, those are dugongs. And they're endangered because of habitat loss, climate change, and assholes like you speeding boats through their habitat. But they're beautiful, gentle giants.
No, they're losers, and that's why we're species marking them. They're the result of millions of years of decadence. They're fat, they got no claws, they don't swim fast, they don't even have teeth, and they've got a big dumb looking round tail.
Oh, you're actually thinking of the manatee, and they are phylogenetic siblings. They're all in the Sirenia family, but manatees live in the rivers and shallows of the equatorial Atlantic, and they have a rounded tail and rough skin that harbors algae, while dugongs live in the West Pacific and the Indian Oceans and have smooth skin, and they have a fluke tail like whales.
They look like a dolphin that's walrus maxing.
You're right, they do, which is why a lot of people think they're an evolutionary step between cetaceans, like dolphins and whales, and pinnipeds, like walruses and seals, but actually none of these marine mammals are closely related. Millions of years ago, a pig-like animal went splashing in the water, and today its descendants are cetaceans, like whales and dolphins, and their cousins are actually hippos, and their second cousins are even-toed ungulates, like cows, pigs, and giraffes. And also millions of years ago, a wolverine-like animal went splashing in the water, and today its descendants are pinnipeds, like walruses and seals, and their cousins are Musteloidea, like wolverines, otters, and skunks, and their second cousins are bears and dogs.
Okay, but then where did the speed bumps come from? Wait, no, let me guess. Millions of years ago, an elephant was splashing in the water.
Yeah, sort of. Elephants and Sirenia are actually cousins, and their ancestor probably looked something like this.
That's a hippo. And if elephants were smart, they would have trademarked the hippo to absolutely hippo-mark the pigs.
Okay, that's nice. Dugongs and manatees live near the equator because they have a super slow metabolism, so they can't really keep themselves warm. But they used to have another phylogenetic sibling, the stellar sea cow, which lived up in the cold waters of the North Pacific Ocean, and it could get up to 9 meters long. That's like as big as a bus. It's bigger than killer whales, and it was so huge to reduce the surface area to volume ratio so that it could maintain its body temperature. But in the 1700s, European fur hunters came to the North Pacific and decimated our sea otter populations for their pelts, and then the sea urchin populations boomed without the predator, and they overate the kelp forest that the sea cows survived on, which likely led to a decline in their population. And any that were left were rapidly hunted to extinction by European commercial expeditions by 1768. So stellar sea cows were actually the first documented case of an entire species lost to the onslaught of capitalist business ventures.
Get that money.
So, how can we prevent ourselves from losing dugongs and manatees as well? Well, Sirenia eat a diet of soft, delicate plants, so they live entirely on seagrass and algae.
I'll tell you what they should do. They should toughen up, get lean, get fast, and catch a fish, and get that protein.
No, that's dumb. But climate change, water pollution, and coastal development are destroying a lot of their delicate habitat, and since they spend a lot of time floating near the surface, boat strikes harm and kill a lot of them. So, if you have a boat, and if you drive it in their habitat, drive slow, and keep a spotter on the bow to watch out for them, and stick to deep water channels away from the shallows.
You expect me to drive my boat slow? Absolutely not. That's cuck behavior. That's government tyranny. No one tells me.
Anyway, drive pro-socially, don't listen to manosphere influencers, unregulated capitalism is why we don't have nice things, and this was Endangered Species A to Z, which clearly has no format, and this was D for Dugong. Let me know in the comments what I should do for E.